At a glitzy hotel gala, a catering manager knocks sealed pastries into mop water while humiliating a dishwasher, shocking the protagonist, who witnesses it. A freelance event planner risks her job and pay by buying the desserts on the spot and standing up to the manager, then quietly helps the worker in a stairwell. Small policy changes and quiet gestures ripple out afterward, reshaping routines and restoring some dignity without fanfare. Before we get started, tap like, share, and subscribe to join the journey. And tell me, where in the world are you watching? Drop your country below. I love seeing the global trail of these stories. The box hit the floor with a wet slap. Glaze and a little lemon curd slid into mop water. The catering manager's hand hovered where the box had been. He didn't touch the worker, but his voice landed hard. Dump it. That's waste, he said in that back hallway bark that made people move. People moved. A server slid the yellow bucket back. A group of donors in evening clothes cut through, eyes up, necks long, pretending they didn't see. The dishwasher stood still, sleeves dark with splashes, his name tag bent from the hit. Mia saw all of it from the corner by the rolling racks. She had the headset mic on, and her binder open to the run of show. She could hear the MC in the ballroom warming up the crowd. She could smell bleach, hot butter, and the great carpeted money smell of a gala night. Her phone buzzed. Clow, CFO, we're starting dessert early. Keep the back tidy. She glanced at the clause circled in her contract, page no interference with venue staff, and felt it like a hand on her shoulder. Sealed, the dishwasher muttered, tiny, pointing at the plastic windows on the pastry lids. The manager's jaw clicked. Health code, he said. You know this. Don't play dumb. He nudged the wet box with a shoe, like it had insulted him. Mia's rent was late. The final check for this event would fix it. She thought of the email chain this morning about budgets, margin, a warning from the hotel sales rep about not going cowboy with our people. She let the thought pass and stepped forward anyway. Stop, she said. Her voice was even. The word hung in the hallway air. The manager turned. Mid-40s, clipped hair, slick tie, a tablet tucked to his chest like a shield. Ma'am, this is between my staff and me, he said, keeping it polite enough for the donors in earshot. Mia crouched. Her knees nudged the damp tile. She lifted a pastry lid with 2 fingers. The plastic crackled. The tamper sticker was intact. She held it up so he could see. They're sealed, she said. Sell them to me. Add them to the bill. Ring a code. Whatever you have to do. It's waste, he said, but quieter. We just got audited. I can't have food walk out. Not after last month. He glanced past her, like waiting for someone higher up to rescue him. A busser, young, freckled, hovered with a tray. Mia didn't look away from the manager. Can you grab me a clean box and gloves? She said to the busser. The kid nodded and ran. The dishwasher didn't move. He kept his hands near his sides, palms open, like if he reached down, he'd make it worse. Droplets lifted the edges of his knuckles. He kept his eyes on the floor. Mia slid her binder under one knee so it wouldn't get wet. Put it on my event, she told the manager. Or put it on me. I'll sign. She held out her personal card. It was a little beat up at the edges. Not the shiny corporate one she used when she could. Her own. The manager wet his lips. We've fired 3 people this quarter, he said, voice still low. For exactly this. Someone brings a cupcake to a cousin. Then a tray. It's my job on the line. If someone gets sick from something that left the warmers... He cut off, shook his head, and his hand pinched his radio cord. Mia kept her card up. They're sealed, she said again. Look. She turned a lid until the date sticker caught the light. She could see his eyes track it. She could hear the ballroom applause swell as a video ended. The busser came back with a fresh box and a roll of paper towels. Gloves, Mia said. He ripped a pair open with his teeth and held them out. Thanks, she said. A slick man in a navy suit edged into the hallway, a lapel pin winking. The client CFO. He saw the wet floor, the bent name tag. Mia on her knee and exhaled like this was off script. Not now, he said, almost pleading. We're about to do the pledge. This is now, Mia said. She didn't raise her voice. She signed the bottom of the blank hotel check slip the busser had grabbed. Her signature looked sharp under the fluorescent lights. Fill in whatever. Charge me. The manager took the slip like it might burn. He looked at the CFO and got a tiny shrug that said, I don't want this, but I don't own you. He looked at Mia again. You're not supposed to direct my staff, he said. I'm not, she said. I'm making a purchase. She eased a sealed tart from the wet cardboard and set it in the clean box. She dabbed at the corner of a lemon bar with a towel to blot the mop water. The towel smelled like lemon cleaner. Her gloves squeaked a little. The dishwasher blinked. He watched her move the treats. 2 hands, careful, like they were made of glass. He swallowed hard and the tendon in his neck jumped. He still hadn't wiped his wrists. A security guard stepped in, white earpiece cable against a black blazer. "Everything okay?" he asked the manager, who had to make a call. He did a half nod, then the other way. "We're fine," Mia said, even as her heart thudded. She finished transferring the sealed pieces. She closed the clean lid, pressed it shut until it clicked. She held it in both hands, a neat white square. She turned to the dishwasher. "This is yours," she said. She meant it like you mean it when you hand someone their coat in winter. He flinched like the box was too bright. "I didn't," he started. "It's paid," she said, and offered it. He took it like it might float away. The manager's radio crackled. He lifted it to his mouth. "GM wants you out," he said to Mia, not looking at her. "Now, we'll settle your invoice later." He'd softened his tone, almost sorry. Like if he kept it level, it wasn't a fight. Mia stood. "Okay," she said. Her knees left 2 wet ovals on her black pant legs. The CFO rubbed his forehead and drifted away like a man escaping smoke. The applause swelled again in the ballroom. Somewhere, a mic squealed. The guard held out his hand for Mia's vendor lanyard. "Policy," he said. She unclipped it. "1 second," she said, and lifted the clean box and her binder. The guard didn't block the box. He looked relieved. They walked to a stairwell door to clear the hallway. The dishwasher hovered by the frame as if waiting for permission to step into air. The manager watched, jaw set, the sinew in his temple tapping. In the concrete stairwell, the air was cooler. The hum of the building sounded like a big refrigerator. Mia set her binder down on a step and unzipped her emergency tote, the kit she kept for spills and surprises. She pulled out a folded T-shirt from another event, soft from many washes. "Here," she said, "it's clean." He glanced at the T-shirt, then at his own damp polo. "I have to clock back in," he said, "quick." The words stacked tight. "It takes 10 seconds, she said. She handed him a paper towel first. He dried his wrists. The skin there was raw from hot water and soap. He looked 15 for a second. He shifted the box onto his knee and wriggled out of his wet shirt, fast, trying to keep his chest away from her eyes. She stared at the stair riser until the new shirt was on. He smoothed the hem like that would make everything flat. "I'm sorry about the mess," she said, not meaning mop water. He shook his head. "Not your mess," he said. "It didn't come out sweet, just simple." He dug into his pocket for his phone to take a photo of the receipt tucked under the box lid. A folded paper slipped out with it and fluttered to the stair. Mia saw a flash of glitter glue and a big number 7. A tiny gold candle in a plastic sleeve clinked against the step. He scooped them fast. He looked embarrassed, then changed his mind and let her see. He held up the paper, a bright printed flyer with SAT a day 5 p.m. and a star sticker wonky in the corner. "My little one," he said. "We can't do cake, but, you know." He let the sentence trail. Mia nodded. She pulled a sticky note from her tote and a fat black marker. She wrote, "Slow, so the ink didn't bleed. Happy birthday, Elena." She stuck it on the inside of the pastry lid. He looked at it like it was a passport. The security guard eased the stair door open again. "Ma'am," he said, softer, "I have to walk you out." "Okay," Mia said. She looked at the dishwasher and held up the duplicate receipt. "If someone asks, this is your proof." He nodded, blinked fast, and tucked the paper with the candle back into his pocket. They parted at the loading dock. The night air hit damp and cool. Rain made the asphalt sheeny. Mia stepped under a little overhang and watched the city blink and smear. Her phone buzzed. Email, event agreement termination. She opened it. Words like breach and review and withheld balance scrolled up at her from a rectangle of light. She let the phone lower. For a second she watched her breath in the chilly air, the way it thinned as it left. She walked to the street. No parade. No angry speech behind her. A truck backed up, beeping, somewhere down the block. She wiped a dot of lemon curd off her blazer sleeve with her thumb and laughed once, a dry sound that surprised her. 2 weeks later, she cut through the same hotel service corridor on her way to a meeting at a coffee shop next door. On the wall by the time clock was a new sign, laminated, taped crooked. "Sold leftovers to staff table." 10-minute rule, cross-out labels. Beneath it sat a grey bus tub with a neat line of sealed desserts. A black marker on a string dangled like a tiny fish. The manager walked by, slower than before. He didn't make eye contact. He adjusted the sign with 2 fingers so it sat straighter. A server set a wrapped cookie on the table and kept moving. At her next job, a small community center fundraiser with crepe paper and a typed sign that read "Suggested Donation," Mia wrote "Leftovers for Volunteers" on a piece of paper and taped it to a folding table by the door. The room smelled like coffee in a big dented urn. The applause in that room felt warmer, less sharp. Her email chimed. A short note from the tech event CFO. "We added a donation clause to our rider for future events. Thanks for the nudge." That was it. No emoji. She smiled anyway. A text from an unknown number pinged. A photo filled her screen. A kid's hands on a white pastry box, small hands with marker on the side. A gold 7 candle stuck in a chocolate tart off-center. In the corner of the frame, her sticky note, her block letters. A slice of a pink plastic tiara on the table edge. No caption. On a different afternoon, waiting by the hotel's side entrance to meet a florist, Mia saw the dishwasher again in a new jacket that actually fit. He was wheeling a rack of glass racks, a soft-side cooler bag slung crossbody. He saw her, lifted his chin a little. She lifted hers back. It took 1 second. Then he pushed through the door with his shoulder and kept going. Later, right before banquet staff meal, a server passed his station and set a wrapped cookie on the dish rack without looking. He glanced at it, then pretended not to and only picked it up when her back was turned. The manager walked by, saw it, and kept his eyes on the clipboard. He wasn't softer, just changed a notch. On a sleepy Tuesday morning, Mia sorted receipts at her kitchen table. The lemon curd stain had come out of her blazer. Her inbox looked different now. Fewer big logos. More names. PTA, church basement, retirement home. The numbers were smaller. The faces made sense. When she thought about that night now, it wasn't the emails she saw. It was the sound the box made when it hit the mop water, and how light it felt when she lifted the replacement, as if a box could decide what it wanted to weigh. She saw his hands on the lid, steadying it. She saw the gold 7 in its packet, ridiculous and perfect. She pictured that new sign in the narrow hallway, the marker swinging and the tub below it, a simple shelf where something small could wait. She finished her coffee and looked out the window. The sky was the color of paper. On her table, under the weak winter sun, sat a clean white pastry box she'd saved from the community center event. Empty now, the lid closed, a neat square catching the light.